3 Cents Podcast is brought to you by Integrity Roofing and Siding.
We call it 3 Cents Podcast, but for you, no charge, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for another episode, at least not that I know of. We're not charging anybody. Right. Not yet, at least. But this is a 3 Cents Podcast. I'm Ernie Zuniga. This is not
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud. It's Cleto Rodriguez. And Mike Taylor, of course, here. And we'll get
Little
to...
giddy this
I see you're
afternoon.
you're in an extra good mood today.
Very good mood. You would have thought I had won the lotto.
Kind of. The football lotto, the NFL
football lotto, yeah.
So everybody, I know you're doing good today. How are you?
I'm good. I enjoyed you giving him crap for that jersey right before we went on.
No, well, I was talking about how...
Are you going to put it next to the David Carr jersey?
He's been a Texans fan since
David Carr. Yeah.
And I remember David Carr.
I've been miserable since David Carr, yes.
Because you had a Deshaun Watson jersey. How many quarterback jerseys have you owned over the years?
Carr, Schaub, Watson.
J.J. Watt? Did you have a J.J. Watt?
I have a J.J. Watt.
Okay.
And this is my latest one. The one I was going to get before that was... I was going to get Petrie for a minute, and then I was going to get Anderson.
Oh, my
but this C.J. Stroud, I'm going to tell you the story about this one. I just bought it, and I asked the lady, what's the return policy on this? Because I don't know if he's going to be a bust or not. She goes, you got 90 days. Done. So I just cut the tags off.
I don't think he's going to be a bust.
I cut the tags. He's a keeper.
The early returns are positive.
Lucky, boy. This is not a popular opinion. I would have kept Deshaun Watson. I would have
no, don't get me. Look, Mike.
They got super. It worked out fine.
It worked out.
Yeah.
Mike, when we got Deshaun Watson, I literally cried because when I was watching the draft and I was watching the Spurs game and I was going back and forth, and when I came back to the draft, Cleveland Browns trade with the Houston Texans, and Texans are on the clock, and I'm like, wait a minute. And they're talking about Deshaun Watson. I said, hold on a minute. It was about 2 minutes before that my son comes. Dad, what are the chances of us getting the quarterback? Son, we're like 28. We're going to probably get the quarterback from Memorial High School. So it's like, that's what we're looking at. And then this came, and I was like, whoa, no, nobody move. And then when I saw you got Deshaun Watson, I'm like, yes. No. Oh, I was in tears. I was crying. I was like, yeah, we finally got a quarterback. And then I was in tears when he left. Because I was like, he didn't want to play with us.
Well, he demands a trade, and then, of course, we find out that has problems.
Issues.
Of course, this is the lawyer. I mean, are we trying to win playoff games? Or are we trying to be parents to the kid? I would have kept him.
Yeah,
but he wanted out of there, and he needed after all that, he needed a change of scenery. And he's just not getting better in Cleveland finally. But
after a while, you just kind of like,
You've got the next Dak Prescott down there in Houston. How about that?
Oh, don't curse us, Mike.
He looks just like Dak to me.
Don't curse us, Mike,
Dak
please.
No, I'm not. Look, this was what C.J. Stroud's doing is exactly what Dak did his rookie. Remember how great Dak was? He was fantastic. He had like 18 touchdowns, like 3 interceptions. Cowboys won 10 of 11. Remember, Romo's like, even Romo called his own press conference against the coaches. Remember this? The Cowboys, they did not like Romo doing this. It pissed them off. Romo calls a press conference to announce that he's decided that he is not going to take back the job when he's healthy because Dak's playing so well. We've got magic with Dak. That hacked off the Cowboys something awful.
My gosh.
And that wound up being Romo's last year. And then once Dak got older and we got film on him and they played good teams for a change. And
he got hurt.
I love Dak. I do. I don't think Dak's going to lead the Cowboys anywhere. See how I turned this into Cowboys talk?
Yeah, I like that.
I don't believe Dak's going to.
As it usually is.
It's okay. I don't believe Dak's the guy that's going to take the Cowboys to the Super Bowl.
You don't.
But it's been a great story. He's a 4th-round pick. Great story. Blah blah. Point is, he looked like Stroud his first year. Now Stroud's a 3rd overall pick. Ohio State total stud. And hopefully C.J. Stroud stays there for a long, long time. But let's not go crazy. Enjoy the moment.
No, I mean,
because in a year or two, when they get film and this kind of thing and injuries,
I would say, Mike, if you knew how we've been the last few years,
sure,
and you do
understood.
know.
I'm not trying to burst a bubble.
No, but you do know how it feels because we've been in the same boat for a while, except y'all keep saying y'all going to the Super Bowl every year.
Not this dude.
But the thing is with the Texans is that with Stroud, even when I saw him in Ohio State and I saw him get beat by Michigan, I didn't like him at all. I thought he had no confidence in himself. I thought he didn't have a great game. I saw him against Georgia, and I said, okay, now this kid is doing what Deshaun Watson did against Alabama, and when he was at Clemson, and he had all these, NFL defense, NFL defense on Georgia's side, and he's over here tearing them up.
Yep.
So I said, this guy's okay. Then what do? We win the last game. We get the second overall pick, and I go, how do you do that, not to have the number 1 pick? I wanted Bryce Young, and now I look back, and I'm seeing Stroud, and I'm like, hallelujah. Thank you, Lord.
Well,
I am glad we don't have Bryce Young.
What Texans fans don't have to deal with is an idiot owner who makes it all about him and distracts the room and takes away from the corporate knowledge, to use a Spurs phrase. The idiot McNair left the team to his idiot son after about 2 years of being an idiot.
We still have an idiot there.
But he notice, have you seen him this year? He's been completely off the grid. He hires finally finds a GM who goes and brings in D'Amico Ryans, who appears to be a badass. And that owner has stayed his butt up where he belongs.
We were in the 49ers trash can for a while and getting some of their old players, and we're kind of
That's all right. No, I like
I like D'Amico. D'Amico's the prodigal
attitude
son.
Of that ball club is
He's
awesome.
back in Texas. He's back with us. So we're kind of like, that's our guy. And we wanted – I hated to lose – I didn't mind losing Lovie Smith, but I did want D'Amico Ryans. And when we got him, I was like,
yeah, man. For sure.
Good to go.
Well, interesting football talk, and the last few days have been dominated by that, because just a short drive away from Houston in College Station – they've got a situation going on right now which has reached the 2-0, if you will.
That's
because,
your school.
I spent a couple of years at A&M, and right on cue, a big-time college football job comes open. This one happens to be in Texas, and UTSA's coach, Jeff Traylor, once again finds himself.
They want him?
Depends on who you listen to. I mean, some reports have come out and said that Traylor is in the conversation. He's on the list of candidates, but we've seen this movie before, right? I mean, I feel like we've seen this movie before. And if you were to ask me, I just don't get my wife asked me a lot. I don't get the sense that Jeff Traylor is leaving. If he left and he took tens of $millions to coach at A&M, God bless him, I would take it too. If you're asking me what do I think is going to happen, I just don't see it at the moment. And I don't know what you guys think or how much you've looked into that, but I just don't see him leaving right now.
What is he getting now for UTSA?
3.
You know? 3?
3.
Which is great.
But he's got like 8 more years on his deal, I believe.
The thing with Jeff is he's in his 50s.
Right.
He's not old, but he's not young. And for years, he was clearly a great coach. And for years, it was clear that he could do this on the collegiate level. But no one had the guts to hire a high school coach.
Right.
To become their head coach, which is why Jeff immediately finally decided I got to leave Gilmer, and decided to go into assistant. And he was an assistant. He was a peon at Arkansas.
Right.
Then he spent a year or 2 up at Texas, so he could show, hey, I know what I'm doing on a collegiate level. Should have had a college job 10 years ago. Credit UTSA for having the stones to bring him in.
Yeah.
And now I think we're right back to that, though, is now that he's shown that he can win at UTSA. Does a school like A&M have the stones to let that magic work on that level in that conference? And I don't think that I think Jeff would be great at A&M.
Right.
And I'm biased. I like Jeff.
Well, I am too.
But I'm trying to remove all that and get all that friends and stuff out of the way. I love Jeff. I don't want him to go, but I would love it if he could get that job, because I'd like to see him get that challenge and win. I don't think the Aggies have the stones, or maybe they're just too arrogant in that they think that job's above Jeff Traylor.
Well, could you take the triangle of toughness, which is like the signature piece of UTSA football, and like plug and play? In other words, it works. It seems to work in San Antonio. I mean, the results speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Could you take it to College Station, the SEC, and do that? And if you're Jeff Traylor, who has said publicly already he's got all the money that he could possibly ever need, so it doesn't seem to be about the money. He would obviously get more in College Station, but do you want the Aggie land spotlight on you? Do you want that level of pressure?
He might, actually. I think there's only 1 or 2 gigs Jeff would leave UTSA for. He's a lifelong Texan. He's an East Texan. He just Sorry, Jeff, for the stereotype. You fit the culture of Texas A&M.
Gilmer.
He just does. I mean, you imagine
his son went there, right?
Gilmer?
No, at A&M. Didn't his son? Did he have a son?
He's a coach. He's
either played or coached.
Yeah, he's an assistant coach for the Saints. So I think Jeff is the perfect fit, character-wise, culturally at A&M. I don't think that they realize that. They think they can do better, but good luck. Good luck to the Aggies, who always think that they're a national championship program, and they are not.
I definitely agree with what Mike was saying earlier about, I would love to see Jeff proceed in something bigger like that.
Right.
But I think he just fits here like a glove. I think just for now, I mean maybe 2-3 more years, if he continues this trend, that he will get that opportunity.
But here's the other problem is – go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You got other guys like they're talking about Urban Meyer. They're talking about Harbaugh. So, I mean,
in Michigan?
There's a great fit.
Do you think A&M would pick Harbaugh, someone like Harbaugh up? I mean –
well, but Harbaugh – I mean, he's doing so well at Michigan. I mean, I know he's suspended right now for 3 games and everything, but I don't know that I would see Jim Harbaugh leaving to come to A&M. But getting back to your earlier point about Jeff Traylor and UTSA is, did they not just fail to pass that student fee increase that they tried to pass because he's been lobbying to get an indoor practice facility and other upgrades and stuff for a number of years? My concern is then, all right, if you don't pass the athletic fee increase, is there going to be enough money coming in soon to give Jeff the kinds of things he needs to keep him in San Antonio long term?
Jeff loves UTSA. There's one thing that keeps him up at night, and that is, I don't know how we're going to pay for this.
Pay for it, yeah.
There have been weeks where, and I don't want to give too much of their dirt, but there have been weeks where they had to fight like hell just to get a chartered airplane. There were weeks where they were like, we may have to bus up for this game. That's ridiculous.
There's a big difference.
I think Jeff's content and happy with things as they are. However, and we're all like this as men, we all have that big challenge out there. If ABC News calls you tomorrow, 3 Cents Podcast is in the dust. But you'd be crazy not to take the challenge.
Right, yeah.
No, like I said,
this is an ABC News type gig.
Oh, yeah.
For Jeff.
Yeah, it's the network. It's network gig.
Yeah, it's a chance to go on that level and have resources. Every time I've had Jeff on my show, we love 2-0 Triangle Toughness.
Yes.
We're great. We love a UTSA. Love it. Grow birds up. All that stuff. And he always manages to mix in. We don't have enough money.
Right.
We don't have an indoor practice facility. We don't have enough upgrades for this. We don't have enough upgrades for that. We are getting our players poached once a month through NIL.
Coaches don't stay.
And that's another thing that he'd never have to worry about is the money. Look what the Aggies are doing to get Jimbo Fisher off their program. The school's not paying that money.
Nope.
Their donors
the
are like the 12th Man Foundation, which is a bunch of rich dudes. They've decided, we'll just pay for his buyout.
Yeah.
When your fans can do that, if you're Jeff Traylor, don't you kind of want to see if you can make that work for a couple of years? And maybe you flame out, but at least you gave it a shot and you go to your grave knowing you gave it. You were there for a little while.
The big difference between the A&M alumni and the UTSA alumni. Big difference.
Well, that's true.
I mean, that
A&M football's been around for many there are
those that would think that think A&M football's a cult. Which is fine. That's fine. It's a unique cultish atmosphere.
Anywhere in East Texas, I believe.
It's awesome. It's an awesome scene for the right person. They just never know who it is, and the right guy for them, culturally, is right down the road. But will they have the guts to do it? I don't. It's funny because if he goes to A&M, I'm going to run out and buy an Aggie shirt tomorrow.
I would too.
Because I love Jeff.
And
I'll ride with Jeff wherever he goes. So I'll be sad.
I have a senior in high school. I'll be like, take a look at this A&M. Yeah.
No. I mean, it would be great for him. I just think culturally he's great for them. I think he'd do a really good job. But
A&M is a case, win or lose, where you see the football team is, what do they call it, the front door to the university, where it brings in so much money that everybody else benefits. I think that's what they were trying to say with this student athletic fee increase vote, was that, hey, yes, Jeff Traylor makes, $3 million a year, whatever, for the next 8 or 9 years.
Yep.
Yes, it looks like a lot of money, but in order to make these other things, the other sports and the other things at UTSA work and continue to grow, whether you like it or not, whether you watch football or not, the reality is as the football team goes in a lot of cases, so does the rest of the university.
Yeah, and that's what they're trying to make UTSA football for UTSA, the front door of the school. But, hey, man, I have no problem with the kids who voted no. I understand.
No, sure, yeah, I totally get it. No, I totally get it.
That's a whole different. That's a whole different topic. The cost of tuition in colleges.
For sure.
I am for college football getting all it can get. I am for Jeff Traylor getting all he can get. I am for building all the bells and whistles you can ever build. I'm also against the ridiculous tuition cost in this country to attend a university. It's outrageous. It's bullshit crap, and it's most public schools on a collegiate level are nothing more than Wells Fargo, or a bank, or a real estate firm. It's all about getting money. It's a business. My friend Andy Everett, who does a show on Ticket 760, went to Oklahoma University. Mm-hmm. I always use Andy as an example. Andy was at OU in the early 80s. He lived on campus, lived in Norman on campus at the University of Oklahoma. In 4 years of being a full-time student, living on campus, at the end of the years, Andy spent $4,800 to go to Oklahoma University. That was I think, I don't want to age Andy, I think 82 to 85.
Yeah.
86, something like that. You cannot tell me that inflation is the reason why now to go to Oklahoma, it's going to cost me $48,000 a year, when just 35 years ago somebody went there for $4,500 for 4 years.
The whole thing.
The whole thing's crap, and I understand why kids don't want to add any more money to their thing. I get it. I do. The problem lies in collegiate education, not in collegiate athletics. But athletics is going to suffer, and if they lose Jeff Traylor, that winds up being one of the reasons why Jeff leaves. So be it. This world's about cause and effect.
Yeah,
I get both sides.
Yeah,
sorry, that's a hot button for me.
No, listen, I just said I got a senior in high school. I'm getting ready to pay. I'm getting ready to cut those checks very soon for wherever she ends up going.
I've tried to get my kids to go overseas, go to the University of Trinidad, go down to Grenada. We were in Grenada one time. We should go down to Grenada. I don't care. Just get the paper. Has anyone ever asked you to show them your college degree?
No, I've preached that because I graduated from University of Houston, Victoria, and nobody watching this is probably, with a few exceptions, I've ever heard or can certainly name the mascot of UHV. My point is or trade schools. I mean,
absolutely.
Not 4-year universities are not for everyone, but God Lord, I mean. We have that conversation all the time about, racking up all that student debt and then trying to find a job we all know that's not going to be able to help you pay back those loans when you graduate. And so
I'm a Gen Xer. I think I'm the last generation that fell for the ruse, which this is why I support millennials and Gen Zers and these, whatever you call these kids now in high school, because they are now realizing this is crap. This college thing is overrated. I don't necessarily need to do this if I don't want to. If you cannot afford to pay off your school, and this is my opinion, not these two dads here.
No, I get it.
If you cannot pay off your college education within 2 years of graduating, you don't need to be going. Why would you put yourself in that kind of massive debt? There are kids running around this city with law degrees that make less money than one of my kids who works at Trader Joe's. That's true.
Yeah, that's not an exaggeration.
Because they may be working as an intern in a law firm out of college, but they're $250,000 in debt. So tell me how that makes any sense. It does not.
Right.
Anyhow, that's a massive button with me.
I get it. No,
I took my kid once. We wanted to go visit UT. I'm like, okay, we'll go walk the campus of UT. First of all, you ain't in the top 8%, sweetheart. But we'll go walk the campus. We went to the co-op bookstore on the Drag up in Guadalupe. Mm-hmm. We went to the UT bookstore on campus. There was a microeconomics book, brand new microeconomics book, still in the cellophane paper, brand new book, $350. $350 for one textbook. $350 for a course.
Oh gosh.
I mean, it's like, even if you do go to college, make sure why would you go to college? I love we need you, but why would you be a social worker?
In economics of all things.
We need to start allowing people to go into professions without a degree. Just give them some training. Why would you go spend $300,000 to become a $25,000 a year social worker? Why would you do that? We got to get to where we don't need that paper.
You can understand this, Mike. I mean, it's like, and you also are dealing with football. You know football. My kid, he's in high school, and he's a sophomore. And he was this year, I mean, his whole thing was he wanted to be on varsity. And I go, you're on JV. He plays corner and he plays receiver. So I go, you could be on both sides. I'd rather have you play on JV. So when I go see you, I've seen you play. But if you're going to be on varsity, you're going to be on the bench. And he's like, because he's not the strongest, tallest, but he's on the team, and it meant a lot to him. But he practiced so hard to be the kicker. I go, what? He goes, the kicker. I go, you're definitely going to be on the sidelines most of the game. I go, you don't want to be, corner and safety and all this. He goes, no, Dad. I want to be a kicker. And then I was like, son, you don't get it. I want to see you play. I don't want to see you. He goes, no, I want to be a kicker. And he goes, and he had like a plan. Like he goes, he's in soccer and he'd been kicking and kicking and kicking. And the coach told him make 10 in a row. And I'll let you be on this varsity. He made 11 in a row.
Nice.
From 30 yards, 25 yards. And I was like, wow, okay. So he's on the team. He's a varsity. He's there. He's a kicker. And I go, what made you want to be the kicker? He goes, because I have a better chance of getting a scholarship as a kicker once I get out. And I said,
okay.
Huh. I said, now, okay, be a kicker. If you get a full ride somewhere, golf.
I know I got it.
Golf. You get your kids in golf.
Daughter?
That's expensive.
Daughter.
Sports.
Yes.
Whatever sports.
That's expensive, though.
Make her do it. Be Tiger Woods'
That's
dad.
right.
You are going to play golf. Because I ain't paying it. I had a buddy I went to high school with named Sean McDermott. He was a starting right guard for the varsity high school team I went to. Back when I was in high school, back in the 90s. That's another edition of Mike Taylor compares his high school career to major sports today. No, I have a buddy named Sean. He was a right guard. He was solid. He was okay. He was a good starter. They were pretty good. They went to the playoffs, lost the first round, blah, blah, blah. He was fine. 0 offers. 0. Spent all summer deep snapping with his dad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Walked on to a camp at Kansas State and didn't get a scholarship, but was invited to join the scout team as their scout team deep snapper. By his sophomore year, he had worked himself into a scholarship and was the permanent deep snapper at Kansas State.
Wow.
He couldn't block to save his butt, but he was a damn good deep snapper, and he wound up deep snapping for the Bucks and the Panthers.
Wow.
I think he was in the NFL for about 7 years as a deep. He made $1 million over 7 years as a deep snapper.
Sure.
So that's it. You brought that. Talking about your kid, that brought that to my head. So tell him the Sean McDermott story.
I will.
Is he the starting kicker?
He's the starting kicker.
Okay, good.
There you go.
A lot of kids just want to be on varsity.
Kicker.
They don't care if they play. They want that varsity.
He is the kicker, and he's the field goal kicker, and the kick. He does
kickoff.
Yeah.
Squib kicks.
I tried to be a kicker
stuff.
in high school, and because Lord knows I couldn't block or catch a ball or throw.
I tried to be in football, but someone did this no pass, no play, whatever.
Oh, wait a minute.
My dreams.
Wait a minute.
Ah, man.
Sorry, Marty. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Anyways, I didn't mean to get off on that anti-education. Please, education, I value it, believe me. But I've never used my degree, and I did not pay off my student loans until I was 43 years old.
Where was it? High school? What was it? Baseball, second base.
That was in high school.
That's high school.
Taylor Jr. second
Mike Taylor
base.
Jr. second base.
No, man. It took me 10 years to get my degree.
He looks the same, by the way.
No,
in
I
that
don't.
picture.
It took me 10 years to get my degree because I was working. I had a family. I was a part-time college student for 10 years. I don't know why. I just wanted that paper, man.
It was a different time, though, back then.
Again, Gen
all
Xers,
about that
we're
bag.
the last generation to buy the ruse.
How the kids say it? Get the bag.
I was told that I would never be able to do anything in this world if I didn't have a college degree, and I bought that bull crap, and I spent 10 years getting my degree, and I've never once used my degree. Almost like lately with this podcasting life and being poor all of a sudden for the first time in a while, I've been thinking lately, damn, I'm about to use that degree and go get me a teaching certificate or something just to say I used the damn.
What's your degree in?
Kinesiology.
Okay.
I could.
Don't be a sub, whatever you are.
That's a glorified PE
teacher.
Yeah, lots of. I have a Bachelor of Science. I have a history minor. And I'm a sportscaster.
Don't be a sub anywhere.
Go figures. I've subbed. I loved it.
Did you like it?
When I was in college, it helped pay the bill.
I did the same thing. I subbed when I was in college.
And because
would you sub now?
I would, because I have a degree. You get some districts pay $180.
They will pay you a lot more now.
What grade?
High school.
Ooh.
I would never do junior high.
No, but they would in Victoria, tiny town. They would call you at 7 in the morning and say, "It's the same thing in San Antonio, or you were in the Metroplex."
In Fort Worth, yeah.
They'll call you at 7 a.m. and it might be a recorded message or whatever, but they'll say, "We have Victoria Independent School District. We have an opening today in 7th grade, whatever, or special education,
Science, Memorial High."
Yeah, and then you say yes, I'll take it. and then you get dressed and you go. Back then, it was like $60 a day or something.
I enjoyed it. I did. I had a good time with it. I was also, my rules were this. I would go into the classroom. Look, clearly there's a sub. Good to have you. My name's Mike. This is what she has for you to do here on the board. I don't care if you do it or not. All I ask for is don't get in a fight, don't leave, and don't drop the N-bomb. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Either version, the one that ends in ER or AH.
Any of them.
I don't want to hear the N-word. Please, you can do what she wants. That's up to you because I'm gone. In an hour, you'll never see me again, right? And so if you want to mail in the day and not do this assignment, that's cool by me. I sat there and I read magazines. It was great and got $150.
You got paid.
It's great.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I support education. I just think that on a higher level in this country, so many universities have turned it into just another big business to get money from kids and put them into debt when they're 25, and now you got $80,000 in debt. And good luck. Don't be a failure.
Yeah, go get them.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
My daughter told me the other day, Daddy, get me out of school. I can't stand my teacher. I'm like, sweetie, you're homeschooled. That's your mom. Relax.
Oh, wait a minute.
Relax. Get these. Be here all week, folks. Catch me Friday at Yuck Yuck.
Thank you. And try the veal, yes.
Thank you very much, LG. On time.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, jeez. What else you boys doing this week? How we doing? He's all hyped for football.
I am.
How are you doing? How are you? We don't ask each other how we're doing enough.
How are you?
And not as a greeting. Hey, how's it going? You never answer.
Yes.
How is Ernie? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
I see you all over the place doing your MC circuit.
Well, I'm trying to. I mean, we got bills to pay.
You're speaking here and speaking there. Everywhere.
We got bills to pay. No, I thank you. People have been great. Part of the blessing of doing this show, and Pickup Line's what I do is it keeps us out there. Keeps us relevant, and people. All three of us have experienced this where you get a sponsor, you get somebody coming on and say, hey, I think I like what you're doing. I want to collaborate. And so it's been a lot of those things. Like I was telling somebody the other day, I've got my calendar on my phone, and you plan the day, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this at this time, and then I'm going to pick up the kids from school, and then this, and then dinner and homework, showers, and good night. Mm-hmm. Well, then sure enough, at 10, 11 in the morning or whatever, 1 o'clock, you get a random phone call from a random person. You never saw it coming, and then you're presented with something that, oh, you want to do this, or you want to I've been getting asked to do career days again.
I saw that.
So I did a career day last week.
I got asked this morning.
And I got asked for another one this morning, but
fledgling podcaster.
Yeah, well, no. The principal is a friend of mine, but I hadn't talked to her in a little while, and she asked me, and she said, do you want to do it? And I said, I'm not at the TV station anymore, right? She goes, yeah, but I want to hear about Ernie, the new Ernie, the podcaster Ernie. And I'm like,
the new sexier version.
I was like, wait a minute. Don't get your hopes up. I'm not going to lie. And I've done 100, 200 career days over the years, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Like, I really do enjoy it. Mm-hmm. But this was the first time ever that I went, obviously, not to talk about, like, the newscasting. Now, I talked about the newscasting and the news and all that, but that wasn't what I led with, if you will. Mm-hmm. Obviously, now I'm speaking tomorrow at a luncheon. And the same thing. They asked me, they said, this was like 6 weeks ago. Oh, you want to speak at this luncheon? And I was like, I'm not at the TV station, right? Oh, yeah, we want to hear about this new Ernie, this new podcast content creation.
Good.
And I'm like, oh, man, I got to come up with something now because all these years I could do
next question, how much?
Right, yeah, free lunch. No, but I do enjoy these things because – look, I mean, without getting too deep here, in July, August, early this summer, man, I went through a rough patch where I was like, before we started the podcast, like, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? How am I going to support the family? And how am I going to be creative? And
been there,
yeah,
done that.
But
currently there.
No, you're not. No. It's we're trending up.
We're trending up.
We're trending up.
We are. Yeah. Keep telling myself that.
Yes, please don't give up on me now.
I'm not.
Don't give up on me now.
You're all I've got, man.
But we'll hold hands at the end and sing Kumbaya. But no,
that scene on Titanic where she's on the door.
Yeah.
Don't let go, Jack.
Don't let go.
That's what we're saying right now. Don't let go, Ernie.
Because I'm freezing.
Never let go. Yeah.
I'm freezing. But it's so yes. I've tried to say yes to these things when I'm presented with them because people do want to hear about I guess, there is an interest in what we're doing. I certainly hear about it from people who watch the podcast. They really enjoy us together and want to know more. And so
tomorrow at the luncheon, you'll give us a shout out.
I am. I've already got pictures of you guys ready to go, queued up on the PowerPoint. But yeah, it's been a year of reinvention. I think we can all relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
man.
part of the talk tomorrow is going to be a little bit about that, and so. So I've enjoyed that. If it feels like I've been all over the place, I certainly feel like it. I've been trying to stay busy and productive and like really go all in on Monday through Friday so that I can enjoy Saturdays and Sundays like I wasn't able to in the past.
Yeah. You mentioned Career Day, and talking about the news is cool, but I mean when I go do Career Day, it's always like this. I'm here to let you know, guys, I'm a professional stand-up comedian. Why did the chicken cross the road? I go, I don't know why. It's a work in progress.
They want to tell you jokes.
I got
try out
all
material.
These kids telling me jokes. I'm like, oh my gosh. So that's how my career day usually goes.
Yeah.
I gotta love the second graders.
I always remember. I've done a couple of them. It's been a while, but it's like, this is a reminder that you have a cool job.
Yeah.
Because you'll go in there, you'll be next to these 4 or 5 other parents who all make 7 times more money than you.
Yes, that's true. That's correct.
And they're way smarter.
Yes.
Way everything else.
Yes.
More. And here I am, a lowly talk show host.
Right.
But the minute I tell the kids what I do, I'm the one that fields all the questions. Where this poor urologist to my left gets no questions.
Right.
And it's all about, have you met Greg Popovich?
Yeah,
and I get
exactly.
that. Yeah, and I'm still pork, son. So become a urologist.
Yes.
But look, man, I agree. It's trending up. We're doing well. We're getting free food out of this gig.
Yeah, that's a bonus.
Every
Beverages.
week we had the wings last week.
That's right.
Shoot.
We did. We had a lot of fun. So we took a little road trip, if you will. The 3 of us
we did.
Went to Buffalo Wild Wings. The location there, it's like 410 and 151. And we put ourselves up to a little challenge.
Yeah. So can I, before we run this, we have to run this?
I think so.
Can I just say I apologize in advance for my shoddy effort? And my excuse was I had no idea how hot they would be.
Well, no, I was going to say the same
when they
thing.
brought them out.
So
I was prepared to destroy, and these things were 500 degrees, which I'm not getting on Buffalo Wild Wings. They're supposed to come out hot.
Right. Nobody asked for lukewarm wings.
Looking back, if we ever do this again, let's wait for them to cool some. Anyway, so
I enjoyed it.
Well, did you?
I
Okay.
did.
All right. Well, all right.
I just finished the rest of them.
Yeah, we had leftovers too. All right,
good.
so take a look. We just happen to have a camera there.
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
And the rest is what transpired after that.
All right, Gledlow, you have any thoughts on this challenge?
I just want to let everybody know that before I attack this, that I really love life a lot, and I don't know if I'm going to come out of it, but I'm going to try. I'm looking forward to it. Pepsi, my sponsor.
The last time I did a competitive eating contest was a corn eating contest, and I chipped a tooth. So my goal today is to not chip any teeth, but I'm very excited.
All right, I'm upset because these are hot. I'm trying to stall to go cool off. As in like temperature hot.
No, okay, yeah.
All right, so the rules are 2 minutes, as many as you can. We'll count the bones at the end and see who wins. They say that people like our show because we have different backgrounds and personalities. This is synergy. This is a commonality.
Right. Universal language of wings.
Yes. All right. Here we go. Y'all ready?
I guess, okay.
Right.
It's now or never.
Christ, I know.
Dang it.
Okay,
All right, yeah.
You got timekeeper ready?
Yeah, 2
You
minutes.
count us down, man.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
I get all the bits.
You're hot.
All the bits.
Don't cheat, leave meat on the bone.
Taking his time, slow and steady.
Look.
They were delicious, to be honest with you.
But they were scalding hot. Temperature, well, I mean, the spiciness was fine, but yeah, right there, they're super hot.
I didn't take that into account, man.
Yeah, but again, credit to Buffalo Wild Wings for delivering just piping hot wings right.
No, they're
freshly
great.
made.
That's what you want.
Exactly.
They do it on social media where they just pull the bone out, grill it.
Because those aren't hot.
But Clinton, you don't seem phased.
No, not at all.
It's taking that tortoise in the hare ideology where you're just the tortoise.
I was having a good time. I was like, you know what?
You're in a zone.
Y'all can win, fellas. I'm good here.
I'm over there about to choke to death, and you just got a nice pace.
So just so you know, they gave us each a tray of 25 wings.
Yeah.
So we're 1 minute in.
clearly
There's 25
they
wings.
gave us too many.
I didn't eat breakfast for that.
I didn't either.
I didn't eat breakfast.
Wow.
I was good. I was like, man, these wings look good. I could have eaten all of them probably that day. I just really.
Yeah. I scalded the roof of my mouth.
Yeah.
Because I was just trying so hard. I'm highly competitive.
30 seconds.
See that? Okay.
Reach for the water.
Yeah,
Your hands are covered in sauce.
I was on fire, yeah.
Yeah.
Rappers are hot.
Final seconds of the wing eating contest here.
8, 7, 6.
You boys even
Five,
had bibs
4,
on, put napkins
3,
on.
2, 1.
There it is.
That's it. Golly.
What do we got? What do we got?
Ugh.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I should
So
laugh.
gross. I
We
hate
got
hate that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh my God.
And we got 1, 2, 3.
All right.
You should have brought out a plate of 10.
Yeah, for sure.
They're delicious.
Three.
Oh, now I can take my time eating them, right?
Was y'all's mild?
That's right. We're okay. You got
Were y'all mild?
You're okay. Were yours not mild?
Mine were mild.
Okay, yeah.
the next course. I noticed that Cletho got super quiet. You have any? What are your thoughts on
Wow.
it?
Well, I tell you what, it's like my life flashed right before my eyes. I was trying to get a pace, but my pace was like real slow.
Yeah.
Like, what is that word? Breathe. Yeah, so that was it. So I got 3 in me. I got 3 out of me. So.
Cletho's had a near-death experience, so
Yeah,
daring as he once
that's
was.
right. I'm taking it slow right now.
I didn't chip any teeth.
You did well.
Didn't chip any teeth. Paid a lot of money for these. Delicious.
Man.
They were not cold by any means. But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about the temperature. And of course, no one ever asked for cold
Yes,
wings.
please bring us lukewarm wings. Yes, no. Nobody ever asked for that.
I didn't think about that.
75 wings, we ate 11.
So I had a strategy.
Failed.
Wow.
Obviously, it wasn't good enough to win. I only took these.
The drums.
Not the drums.
Got
right?
the drums.
Yeah. But so not the little two parts.
Something
The
weird.
flats, what do they call
Yeah,
them?
the flats. Yeah.
Couldn't pull them apart because they're hot.
That was easier to eat, and they were really good.
I want to do over.
That's good.
Yeah, we need to do over.
Cold
got it
wings,
stuck in
no
my teeth.
sauce. How about that?
Oh
Oh.
yeah, I'm gonna eat floss for sure. All right, so it's a tie.
Yeah.
So that means we have to do something else.
Y'all have to do
That's
something.
right. This is America. We don't have ties or anything.
We don't have time.
Oh, yeah.
We should have a pan dulce eating contest here. It'd be
One
familiar.
shot contest.
We
Yeah.
have to break the tie.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
Thank you.
Golly, what's the world record? 28 or something?
Yeah, that's not 4, I don't think. Your record is 8.
All right, well, I'm happy with 4. To hell with it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. That's it.
Thanks, guys.
Sounds good.
I go from
There you have
feeling
it.
bad about myself to, what the hell with it. I had 4.
Exactly.
LG, do you have that picture I sent you? I sent you a photo of us, too, that we took from out there. Do you have that?
Yeah, let me get it.
Somehow?
We had a really
So-
good time there.
So here's the thing. So a shout out to a guy called Scott Swanson, who works at that Buffalo Wild Wings and represents a bunch of them here in the area. And he's the one that set this up for us, let us come out here and do this bit. And even though we were failed, so you never know, man. So we get out there, and the first thing they say is there's a guy working in the kitchen here who loves Cletho.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
Really
right,
excited
yeah.
to see you.
An ex-con. You know, when you told the story of your prison stand-up circuit, it was a good story, and then we wind up over at, what are the odds we wind up at a Buffalo Wild Wings where one of the dudes working there literally was an ex-con who is familiar with your work. That was great, man. How great is that? There's the picture. There's us and this guy here.
Yeah, that's it.
This dude here has an honest job now, and he's a free man, and credited Cleto Rodriguez as being an inspiration to him. How about that?
That was pretty cool.
But didn't he say, too, that he used to watch did he watch you when you were on the morning?
He watched from prison.
And from prison.
They watched Where's Cleto in the morning.
And he would, in addition to the stand-up, he would watch the newscast. So when you were doing your thing in the weekday mornings.
Wait, should they be watching all that violence in the morning on the news?
Well, they're finding out who's coming in.
I guess, I know. Hey, that's my cousin.
That's my cousin. Who's
Primo.
No, I thought that was, I'm being silly because I don't handle this kind of thing well. I thought that was beautiful.
It was really cool.
That was pretty nice, yeah. I mean, because I just talked about it the other day.
Yes, you did.
Like, you know, to this day, some guys will come up to me no matter where I'm at, shows or wherever, and they'll be like, man, you really helped me get through this and appreciate you taking the time to come down there and perform, and it was really cool, man. It was nice.
I mean, you think about it. I don't know how many hundreds of inmates or you know, did you?
It was probably
do stand up for.
Well, I don't know how many of the 300 were there the second time I went. You know, I'm just saying that it's probably at least I would say probably about 600, maybe 400.
Oh,
another hot button opinion of mine that I have the prison system in this wonderful country.
Oh goodness!
Yeah, and especially this particular state. How we treat humans like dogs.
Yeah.
And forget that they're human beings. Anyway, we'll do that.
And that was the whole purpose.
I've already bitched about
and
colleges.
and that was the whole purpose of us going in there and just kind of making them, as they do their sentence and service or whatever they got to do, and just trying to make it light for them and make it a little humor in there. And, you know, it's like you said, I think when Mike said, you know, we just kind of got to remember that, the human part of it. So.
Yeah, no, I mean,
because they're humans.
Yeah, they still are. They still are. But
and most of them are they're probably not violent murderers. You know, a lot of these guys are probably just doing short terms.
No, they're on Beeville. Those are Beeville people.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going in there.
Huntsville.
We're not going in there with the subspecies. We're going in there with the people that, you know, are just honest criminals, or so to speak. But they're human beings. I'm not trying to be funny. Good on you, dude.
You just stole hot cable, you know.
That's awesome. I know. So what? Who hadn't done that?
Exactly.
We just hadn't gotten caught.
That's right.
Is it common for comics to do that route? I mean, in that circuit, if you will. Like is it? How often would? Like, how does that happen where the warden says, you know what, I want to bring a comic in here and lighten it up?
No. I mean, first of all, the warden didn't even – it was hard for the warden to say yes, actually. I mean, because that's how they brought me through the prison ministry. Mm-hmm. They used that
you already doing that.
To do that. And then he thought it would be nice to – since they were familiar with me and just being on the news, they were kind of like, well, you know, let's see. He thought it would be nice to open it up to the whole population. Yeah. It was only going to be 25 guys.
Right.
And he opened it to the whole population. I'm like, okay, all right. And next thing you know, you just got to do your job. And, you know, after a while, it's like you go in there and you're just, you know why you're there. And then at the same time, you're just, don't get me wrong, you're still thinking about your safety.
Yeah.
But after a while, that didn't even matter because it just felt like you were in a room with your friends making them laugh because they're with you. And they were like, let me tell you, I felt honestly like probably the most protected guy there. Like they were having a blast laughing, and they were just like, you know what, this is so cool. And
they know too not to screw it up because they're like, if we screw this up, then it's never going to happen again.
It won't happen.
So, these are not like they're putting you in there with a bunch of psychopaths.
Right,
they're not going to just gratuitously attack you just because a lot of those guys are so.
Show.
Oh, okay. Well, that's different.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are probably so happy to get to do something else with their day to break their monotony.
Break up the monotony.
The last thing they're going to do is go in there and mess it up. They're going to go in there and be cool. You know.
I mean, they all just the laughter was different. If you ask as a comedian. You know laughter, you've seen applause. This one was different because it came from another place. Like, it came from a gratitude place. Mm-hmm. And you sensed it. And you were like, okay, this is so cool. You know you're in a zone as a comedian when you're just, no matter what comes out, ha, 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 But this was a different kind of realm because you're locked in with them, and you're just like, man, and then all of a sudden you're so comfortable, you're making fun of them. You're like, wow, man, it's like, bro, when are you getting out, kind of deal, like, and you're just so comfortable, like oh, I'll get out like in 2029. 2029. I said, man, bro. I said, you're not gonna look the same, right? You know that, right? And then you start, and they're just like laughing, and then they want you. It was like a Christmas party. They don't want to hear your set. They want you to make fun of them. They want you to talk about them because that way Monday at the water cooler, they got something to talk about. Yeah. And that's what everybody, one guy his name was, I go, what's your name? And he said, Little Cricket. I go, Little Cricket. I said, wow, okay. They call me Big Frog, and it's just kind of going off whatever. And they just had a blast. And it was for me personally, it was, I don't even know if you would call it an accomplishment or a bucket list or something like that, but it's up there.
Yeah. So I mentioned earlier I subbed when I was younger, and he's right. It was a phone system where you accept the job. One of the jobs that I always tried to get, and every time it would come up, I would take it, was I also subbed at the Tarrant County Juvenile Detention Center.
What?
In Fort Worth.
Okay.
And I had the same kids all day, and it was multi-subjects, but it was a full day, and I actually got to do some teaching in that scenario because there was no substitute. It was like 3 days a week. They had a sub come in, some person to do lessons in different topics. They would bring these kids in. They'd be shackled by the ankles to each other and set them down. I'd have armed guards in my classroom, and I never had one problem, never. They were so – it broke up the monotony of the day. These are teenagers, of course, not 40-year-old men. But it broke up the monotony. The boss would always tell me that the kids love it when you're here. It gives them some sort of normalcy, and some of these kids are violent offenders.
Yeah.
Because you just don't lock up teenagers unless they've done something real bad. Exactly. But it gave them some normalcy, at least for 4 or 5 hours during the day, and they always like when you're here. And I appreciated that. And I don't know how much of that is true or not. I got something out of that, and it was a reminder that, these are still human beings. And these are kids, teenagers.
Right.
And you just hope that maybe one thing you say off the top of your head might make maybe one kid in the future when he's free makes the decision not to do something stupid just because he wants to do something better and not go back to that place.
Yeah.
So I hope that was probably the most fun I had as a sub was teaching at the jail.
And he's right. It's the saddest thing you see is when you see somebody that is going down for murder and they're a teenager and they got to start it at the juvenile delinquent center till they turn 18 or 17 and go to prison.
Yeah.
And they don't even have a chance to even get that chance at life, and it's already gone. That's the saddest part. And then I saw a guy, the reason I bring that up because when I was in there, I saw a young man, just, God, like a baby. Like this guy, he goes, yeah, man, I'm here for a while, and, I'm trying to get parole in 25 years and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, bro. And you just feel for him, and you're just like, and then you wonder, then you start to realize why you're there. You're lightening the load. You're taking this little bit of a burden off. Right. Just like when I do stand-up, I'm up there, I'm taking people's minds off their problems for the week.
Your temporary distraction.
Temporary distraction for at least 45 to an hour. And they just are just constantly laughing, taking their mind off everything. And it's like the true sense of laughter is like a medicine. That's exactly where it came in. Laughter is like a medicine. Especially for that time when I was in those prisons because, you sensed that it was a reality. It was a different reality for yourself and for them. And it just later on you just see what the blessing was for both of y'all, for both of us. From them and from me.
So you do it again?
Absolutely, easy. But I know buts. I would do it. It's been a while now that I think about it. I'm like, man, it's been a while since I've been to a prison. Yeah. But it's like it reminds me of the So we're just talking about some of the weirdest places and worst bits and sets I've ever had. One of the saddest ones I did was a friend of mine asked me to do a church for him in Savannah, Georgia. And it was just a clean act, They had a new pastor there, and he wanted to mix things up.
Oh.
Now, this was a Southern Baptist church.
Okay.
Where I went wrong was when I said, okay, I'll do the gig. Because I believe these Christians were different.
Okay.
I think.
It's Savannah, Georgia.
Yes.
It's a different
So if you put 2 and 2 together, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, boy.
And
were you too blue for these people?
No. I was too Mexican for these people.
Okay.
So when I got up there, it was. Yes, right.
Look, that's actual tape from the performance. Yes.
That was me crying and going to the car.
Wow.
The saddest thing that day, it was for a Valentine's dinner, and it was the seniors, nobody under 80 years old, that was going to get my material.
Wow.
None of them laughed. I remember talking about I believe there were gypsies in the town, and they were like, their daughters had quinceañera dresses.
Okay.
And I go, what's going on? Is there quinceañera going on? And, I didn't know about it. And I just went to town on these kids and the moms, because they look alike, you know. And, man, the saddest thing was putting my DVDs back in my bag because they didn't laugh at one thing for an hour.
So you didn't even try to sell any DVDs?
I just put merch. I had 2 ladies come up to me and go, Mr. Rodriguez, we're so sorry about the way our congregation acted. That was not Christ. I go, you think? I was like, wow, yeah.
Jesus would have laughed.
Jesus would have laughed at some of these. I know he would have. So I wind up getting back to my room. It was the first time ever I put a chair up to my door because I didn't want no good old boys coming by and checking out what's going on. So I wind up going the next day. And I remember I was just sad, and I'm telling this gentleman, the older gentleman is taking me to the airport. I go, man, why does God have me at these churches? I thought he would have me at the clubs and all this stuff. And he's like, you have to understand something, son. Church is like a hospital. Not everybody there is healed. And I said, wow, that makes so much sense. He goes, he's got you exactly where he's got you. I said, oh, okay. But that was the sassy. Then I get home, and I got a gig in McAllen. I'm in McAllen, and during the day I was golfing. And I was golfing with some other comedians. I get a call from my friend that I was filling in for him. He said, yeah, what happened to that gig? I just got an email that this guy, he talked about this comedian was a disgrace to his race and his name and us and all this. I mean, just an awful letter. And I'm like, this was like the head senior pastor and then the new one was trying to shake things up. I'm like, I was the guinea pig is what it was. And I was like, oh my goodness. So that was kind of where I was on that deal. But that was kind of the worst gig I ever had. I was like, oh my gosh.
So you didn't get the love offering either, probably.
No, I got paid. I did
by the church, but
let me tell you something. I would have
no. The second collection did not happen.
Trust me, I would have got nothing but lint.
No second collection.
Lint that was in the bag or the basket already.
Oh my gosh!
There's no way that was going to happen.
Gosh, I wonder if I walk into a church, the walls would bleed. So I'll never have to worry about disappointing the Christians.
I'm sure there's one nearby. We can go try that out if you want.
I mean, you want to see a miracle. Me going into a church, it's going to be a good story.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man. You're always welcome to come to mine,
Thank
Mike.
you, sir. Thank you.
Man, I got to tell you, gentlemen, this has been a heavy podcast today. But
it's good to show vulnerability.
Yeah.
That's what I'm told in our current state of manhood.
Exactly. No, it's great. There's a little.
We're like Dion. We believe.
We believe, and there's like a therapeutic component
right.
to all
Just
this.
believe how I believe, and we're all fine.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach Prime. Very good. All right. We've had enough fun for one day here, but don't worry. Do not fear. We'll be back very soon with another episode of the 3 Cents Podcast.
Can I say happy birthday to my original producer in this town, Jim Bob Brazil?
Jim Bob Brazil.
He turns 40 years old today. When I saw him, he was a 23-year-old cargo shorts wearing, hat backwards wearing idiot from Texas State, and now he's running television stations.
He's one of the good guys. One of the good guys.
Happy birthday,
Jim Bob.
40 years old.
Happy birthday, buddy.
All right, until next time.
Death is coming, Bears.
No, not today, though. Not today. For Cleto Rodriguez, Mike Taylor, I'm Ernie Zuniga, 3 Cents Podcast presented by Integrity Roofing and Siding. Until next time.
Bye, guys.
Birds up. 3 Cents Podcast is brought to you by Integrity Roofing and Siding.